rolling into the state of the Broncos, Steelers, and Chiefs. Rolling into Twitch himself. Twitch always has passionate takes here about the Steelers. Coming off a Sunday Night Football loss in the Throwback Unis. Twitch, what is the state of the Steelers rolling into Week 9 of the NFL season?
Well, definitely a little bit different than it was 2 weeks ago. I hate to sound so pessimistic. I'm a little more calmed down for those who listened last week. Kind of watched my blood pressure a little bit because it's kind of what I expected. And I'm just telling it like it is. Like I said, I'm a diehard fan for life. I said, but I've seen this record play out year after year. We're going to finish 9-8, 10-7, be the first team out or the last team in. The state of the Steelers, like I guess the only positives would be, I don't even really know. I guess the only positives really being is that they were up at that first half, 16-7 on the Packers. And Jaylen Warren continues to bring good balance. You know, I think he had 80-some total yards, so been one of the few bright spots. DK Metcalf had another touchdown. On the one hand, you have, we keep talking about every week, trying to find that number 2 receiver, and over the last 2 weeks prior, it had been the tight ends getting more involved. And wanting to get the tight ends more involved, / who's on number 2, so they've kind of taken that role as a number 2. So a guy that was hurt last year, and the Steelers have a lot of expectations for. And with Calvin Austin coming back after injury and really underperforming, Roman Wilson had 4 catches for 75 yards, looked to kind of develop some chemistry with Aaron Rodgers, so hopefully that continues to build. That's really the only pluses. I mean, I'm just being honest. I said, they now lose 2 straight. They had a stranglehold on the division at 4-1, real opportunity, especially with the Bengals losing on Sunday the way that they did, and so a gain a game back on Cincinnati, and with Baltimore, of course, having Jackson coming back and getting the win, had an opportunity. And there's no shame in losing to the Packers because the Packers are, I believe, on that short list. But it just goes to show over the last couple of years, like I said, those last 5 games of the year last year, I feel like it's been the story of several of the Steelers' last several years is, last year Pittsburgh ended the year with 2 losses against Baltimore, Philadelphia, Kansas City, and a Cincinnati team that was playing hot at the end of the year. But point being in that was, yes, those were 3 of the 4 teams that were online to almost go to the Super Bowl, the 2 teams that played in the Super Bowl. But the point is it wasn't even close. And so this is another year where I feel like the Packers are one of those teams that are real contenders. Where do you stack up with those teams? And to me, if you're talking about the overall state, not just week to week or this season, but overall state of the Steelers, not to sound cocky, but Pittsburgh, people I feel like got that Kansas City now or Patriot fatigue because Pittsburgh was always good, so people just got tired of them. But we were good for so many years because Bill Cowher playing in 6 AFC Championship games. We were there every year. And now it just feels like over the last 3 or 4 years, it's kind of I hate to say that, but where Kansas City used to be. Kansas City would be well, maybe if we can get a win against the Philadelphia or what the Lions are this year, those top tier, or the Patriots, you know what I mean? They might get one of those big games a year. And Pittsburgh used to be on that level, and just goes to show that we're not. And I don't care what you say. I can only imagine people like Jack Lambert and Mean Joe Green and Chuck Nolan is from his grave, and some of the other Steeler greats, known for everyone knows Pittsburgh for their defense. And 2 weeks in a row, they just got. Let's be honest, every game this year, whether it be Justin Fields, whether it be Carson Wentz, whether it be Drake May, who's had a good year, whether it doesn't matter who we played, every defense, like I said, there's a reason why we're the number 32 ranked pass defense. And so, I don't care who you're playing against, to allow, the guys are running wide open. There's no communication. They allowed 20 straight completions last week to Jordan Love. He said at one point he only had 5 incomplete passes, no sacks. I think they had a half a sack, or maybe a full sack, but it was between TJ and somebody against the Bengals. But they have 1 sack over the last 2 games. And like I said, guys are just running wide open. They have all day to throw. They're not getting pressure. The guys, it's just they go hand in hand. Just this is a huge test. They need to figure it out fast because the next 2 quarterbacks they have after this, we're not even talking about down the road. We're not even talking about Caleb Williams in 3 weeks and the Bears. Just the next 2 weeks, we've got Daniel Jones. I say we I'm part of the team. I feel like I kind of am. But having Daniel Jones and that offense and that team, a balanced team coming in this week, And then next week they play on Sunday Night Football in primetime against Justin Herbert, so another top quality quarterback. So definitely the state of the Steelers, like, hopefully, I mean, the other thing was last week, again, we talked about the tight ends. They finally started getting the tight ends involved the last 2 or 3 games, get a couple wins, and then even in the loss to Cincinnati, that was one of the few bright spots with 4 touchdowns with the 3 different tight ends in that Bengals game. They combined had 30-some yards receiving between those guys on Sunday. So that didn't carry over. So state of the Steelers, they still are sitting at, if you want to be technical, they're still up a half game on, or I'm sorry, what it would be, a game and a half on the.
Yeah, I think it's a game and a half.
Because Cincinnati's played one more game and we have one more win.
Yeah.
But still, so yeah, state of the Steelers. I hate to say it's a must win, but they've got to get it figured out on defense fast, and they got to pick up, in my opinion, one of these next 2. So that starts with, and here's another thing I want to bring up real fast, is Jalen Warren had some success running the football the first half, which led to those scoring drives. And then the second half, he touched the ball twice up until the fourth quarter. So they completely went away from Jalen Warren.
Yeah.
Yes, you can talk about the 3rd and 3 false start, which kind of they feel like started the Packers' momentum, but you got to overcome that. They were still up by 12 points or whatever it was at the time, or 9 points, I guess, at the time. I want to see more of a balanced rushing attack and consistent game out of the. I would like to see Roman Wilson carry that performance over for the number 2 receiver and get the tight ends more involved. But I don't want to overthink this either for the Steelers. State of the Steelers is, I said, they got the best team so far in the NFL, the most consistent team coming up, so far a historically great offense coming in with a team that's really struggled on defense especially the last couple of weeks, been embarrassed on national television twice. So that's the state of the Steelers. That's where they're at. Hopefully, I hope I'm wrong. I mean, so I have the Colts winning that game. I said, but hopefully Pittsburgh can get it figured out and that would be a huge win for them.
It would be a huge win across the board. Yeah, I think Pittsburgh figures it out. I feel like they click eventually. But like you said, obviously these next 2 weeks are big tests for them. I'm excited to see this week how they measure against a good team. I don't think they get the win this week, but I think it would be a good measuring stick there. But rolling into the state of the Broncos here. Broncos get a good win against a really good offense, I would say team, but the Cowboys' defense is in the garbage. They're 44-24 win. Bo Nix getting 4 touchdowns, 247 yards, threw an early interception, but bounced back good. J.K. Dobbins getting a 3-touchdown day with 46 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns, and another 5 on the ground, another little swing pass that actually worked this week to RJ. J.K. Dobbins goes over another 111-yard game. So my takeaways are, in the state of, is the Broncos' defense. I mean, they keep us in good games. They really stalled out that Cowboys' offense has been rolling with 2 wide receivers, Pickens and Lamb. Really took away those guys. Got 2 interceptions in that game. Wow, I mean, we didn't have Patrick Surtain for most of that. We didn't have Patrick Surtain from mid-second quarter. So I was happy how we locked them down that way. Bo Nix and the offense was clicked again. I think Twitch said it, but 77 points in the last 5 quarters of football. Mm-hmm. It's pretty good for any team. Mm-hmm. Granted, we played against, put up 33 points in a fourth quarter. That's crazy. Momentum swings and all that. But coming out and beating the Cowboys the way that I expected them to personally, is handling it and taking care of it. I was very proud of that. This week's going to be a big test for us, obviously, going into Houston. Houston's a sneaky good team right now, kind of a little bit on a hot streak. But we need to definitely win these next 2 so that way when Kansas City rolls out on the 16th of November, we're up. We keep our lead up a game on them, and hopefully they drop a game or 2 here in the next 2 weeks. I don't know if they drop a game, but at least be still at the same so that way we can be tied for the division going into it. Broncos offense, I have no notes this last week, obviously. I mean, they let Bo Nix throw the ball down the field more, which was nice. I've said before that I think Peyton needs to give up play calling ability, but if he uses uses his weapons the way he did this last week, I'm fine with it. We had a good rush game. We had a good balanced game. Obviously, the Cowboys' defense is subpar. So, you can take that as you will, kind of like when the Chiefs beat the Raiders 2 weeks ago now, that, 36. I mean, pitch a shutout. You take it as you will, but our defense would be good. Losing Patrick Surtain hurts, but leading the league in sacks across the board, and there's a new stat that they're tracking called havoc plays, where, they make the quarterback step up in the pocket or, run around or scramble. The Broncos lead the NFL in havoc plays, which is, that's a fun stat to even say. But I think we go on a run. I mean, obviously, I had them going 14-3, which was a little crazy to put out. I felt like it was crazy to put out there at the time. But looking right now, I mean, we play the Chiefs 2 more times. We have a tough Green Bay game in there. But we play the Raiders again. Who knows what the state of the Chargers is going to be by the time we get to them at the end of the year. And who knows what the state of the Commanders will be next week when we play them.
Right.
Play them next week. So I'm excited for the Broncos here. I think we get a win this week, obviously, against Houston. It's definitely a winnable game. It might be a little bit of a trap game with how Houston's looked, but I think Sean Payton will have the boys ready to go. I'm interested to see. There's been rumors that we're looking to trade for a wide receiver 2 and or another tight end, which I don't think there's any tight ends on the market right now that we need to be going and trading picks for, at least big picks. But a wide receiver 2, if we could get it for the right price, if we could get Chris Olave from the Saints for a second round pick, I'd be okay with it, or a third round, because that's a wide receiver 1 to pair with a 30-year-old Sutton. I'd be excited for that. And our defense is good, so I'm really excited where the Broncos are at this week, rolling into, obviously leading the division, which I was hoping that we'd be able to do this year. So I'm excited for this playoff run that we're going to make. Hopefully we get a couple upsets in there. Hopefully we don't have to play the Bills first round. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, I just feel like with Denver, it's just like, and we've said it from the beginning of the preseason, but it's just like, I feel like there's just certain teams you can just tell, like the Chiefs, like the Broncos. You look and you watch them, and you're like, that's a playoff team. So.
Yeah, very much so. But rolling into another team who got a primetime win this week, rolling into our host himself, LSV. Chiefs get a win over the Commanders, Monday Night Football. Greg watched it first quarter from the hot tub, big time. But Greg, what's the state of the Chiefs rolling into Week 9 here?
Obviously, the big game against the Bills on the road is huge. We've got 5 of the last 6 games we've won. Patrick threw 25 of 34 he didn't get quite that 300, but he got 299.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah, 3 TDs. He spread the ball around. I like to see a little bit of what they got going on the ground. Kareem Hunt is that guy that I think you give the ball to in goal line situations.
Yeah, especially with Pacheco out.
Yeah, so he's looked good. I'm confident. I mean, I've been big on this. Who gets out of this AFC West for the first race to 8 for a while now. I mean, since like the beginning of the year after they went 0-2. I was like, well, let's not panic. Let's just sit back and see how the rest of this plays out. So I feel like this win is big for us. We'll see what the Broncos do. We have the bye week. I think Andy Reid prepares well off of a bye week to go out there to Denver. Will be a big testament to see where actually the Chiefs are. But I think we're in a good spot. We were without a lot of key players. And so when you start seeing how fun that offense is to watch,
Yeah.
I mean, but I feel like the one thing that we know about the Chiefs when it comes to November football, December football, this is the team that you want to have. Patrick Mahomes leading, so it's going to be a fun stretch. I don't know where we're at. I was going to go out there and try to get into that Broncos-Chiefs game, but at this point, you know what? I'm just going to ride it out, see where we're at.
Yeah.
I think that we have a good schedule ahead of us, a couple of tough games behind us, and a couple of tough games ahead of us. So,
I mean, your next three games are against teams with a winning record. You got the Bills, then you got the Broncos, and you got the Colts with a bye week in there. So, I mean, a little bit of a tough gauntlet there to see a measuring stick.
If you imagine though, if the Chiefs, and they have a good chance.
Yeah, if the Chiefs go 3-0 in this one.
Then
Yeah, fuck,
That's-
they're walking.
the
To
AFC,
they're
yeah.
walking to a
That's
first
it.
round bye, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are the teams that you need to beat. If you want to be the best, you got to beat the best, and that's where they're at.
Down the backstretch, I mean, in December you play the Texans.
Those are
Who knows? Play the Chargers. Who knows? Who knows what they're going to be? You play the Titans. Win. Play the Broncos again. Who knows how that's going to look? And then you play the Raiders last game of the year. So I mean, you have a chance to go undefeated in December and have. You get through November, it's a fucking cakewalk to the end of the year, with maybe a loss to the Broncos there on Christmas Day.
It's not happening.
I hope it does. I'll be there.
I paid $190 for that ticket.
I paid about the same for my ticket, so I hope.
So yeah, we'll be there, and they're going to win. And but that's what's exciting about the NFL, and that's what's exciting about the AFC, and that's what's exciting about what's going on with the Broncos and the Chiefs right now.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for that. I mean, I hope it's competitive. I mean, I want to see that game. I want that game to have relevance, and I want to see how that plays out in the playoff picture. So, hell yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
Especially if both teams actually keep pace with one another. You know what I mean? Like, especially if they're both sitting with like 4 losses.
Yeah.
And one sitting at the 2 seed, and the other one sitting on the out as the wild card, and then you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
Like-
so that push for that home field advantage in the
The
playoffs.
2 seed playing
Yeah.
the 7 or going on the road. Yeah.
Especially, I feel like the nice part in the AFC this year will be is there's a chance that the Bills don't get home field advantage and the Patriots do. So that means if you are the wild card team, you don't have to go play in Buffalo. With that being said, the Broncos or the Chiefs could easily be the 2 seed and have to play the Bills, which I think the Bills get the 5 seed and the Patriots get the 3 seed or flip them, however that pans out there.
Yeah.
But it'll be interesting to see for sure. I don't know.
Can be some good football ahead of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, month of November's rolling on us already. It's crazy. Next NFL game will be played. It'll still be October, but then after that, we're into November.
Yeah.
So season's kind of flying by so far.
Yeah.
But hope everybody enjoyed this quick podcast or our quick state of the teams. Be on the lookout, dropping around noon tomorrow or on Wednesday the 29th around noon, the Twitch and Box Sports Talk Week 9 edition coming out. Really look out for that. Hope everybody has a great week. Hope everybody, all their bets hit. Hope everybody stays safe, stays warm. A little chilly out there nowadays.
Not in the hot tub.
Yeah.
Not in the hot tub. Make sure you make an appointment to come out to
Oh,
the Backstage Pass Bar and Griddle /spa /gambling casino
It's a good
/
time.
fish tacos for the Broncos game. Always a good time. But appreciate everybody listening. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe down below. Give us your takes. If you ever want to be a guest on the show, for sure reach out to one of us or drop a comment down below, and we'll get in contact with you through email or we'll figure out how to make that work. But appreciate everybody listening. Hope everybody has a great week.